high 60s and 70s, and we're supposed to even have a 80 next week, the first one of the season. So it's getting nice.
Yeah,
Thank goodness.
That's good.
How are you doing in the mountains, Dave?
All good here. Just a little rainy, and I think we may have seen about our last freeze earlier this week, but we'll see. We'll see. One of the times that I came here, long 20, 30 years ago, it had snowed in April. So there's always hope, so.
So you like snow?
Well, the way it snows here, I mean, it's perfect. I mean, it's so light. We're not talking about feet. We're talking about a few inches. And often, like, really this winter, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we saw one occasion with 2 or 3 inches, but other than that, it was a couple of dustings where the next day you didn't even know had been any snow. But yeah, it's really great. I think I like it. The only problem is we're a little too close to Tennessee, as you may
Because of the
guess.
shooting?
Because of what I just left, the news.
Yeah, they're
state
taking 3 of the Democrats out, but
Yeah.
that's okay. That'll happen, and then it'll start changing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know this is part of the
off.
growth. Yeah.
I mean, it's cyclical. I mean, everything goes one way, then it goes the other way, and
Yeah.
I mean, I'll see after Donald Trump is on trial, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is America, and we have a lot of different people.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, guess what? It's 80, what did he say? 86 degrees down here.
86. Oh no. That's sweating weather where you are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Although it's a little bit overcast, just a little partly cloudy, so it's not too bad. Doesn't feel as hot as it is.
But the good news is that the crawfish are flowing pretty well, from what I understand. I go to sleep at night listening to the recordings of WWL from the morning, because there's an app on the radio where you can listen to him back, and the guy was talking about how the crawfish are really good this year and cheap.
So, oh my gosh.
I'm ready for crawfish.
You got to come down for that.
I know. I used to catch those when I was a kid in St. Louis. We used to catch them in the creek, but we never ever thought about eating them.
Yeah, but it's a different species up there.
Oh, I'm sure. But I don't, I remember the first I was living on Cadillac Avenue. Was it Cadillac? Yeah, I thought it was Cadillac. It was something up by the city park. Kent and I lived there, and then Eddie Ali lived there, and a number of people lived there. We were on the last. You had to walk past everybody else's apartment to get to our apartment.
Well, that was the one by St. Bernard, all right?
Yeah. And I'm walking past my neighbor, this guy named Barry, and he's sitting there eating crawfish and sucking on their heads. And I had never seen it before. And I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh, yeah, these are great." And so I sat down, ate some. I go, "Yeah, these are great."
Didn't Tim Shea and Tom Cratchmer live there too?
They lived right across the street. And Tom Cratchmer was a great mechanic. He worked on our truck a lot to do preventative maintenance because our truck was so old. He's a great guy. He was a great guy. But I wonder whatever happened to him. I guess he probably went off and taught music or something. I know what happened to Tim Shea. Of course, if you look up Tim Shea on the internet, you get a lot of controversial stuff about his treatment of women. Like this woman lawyer asks him something, and he goes, "Will you go get me a cup of coffee, please?"
Oh my gosh.
But that's Florida for you.
Looks like Johnny Gill's trying to get in.
Oh, good.
John, put your sound on, or you hit your microphone and your camera.
But he's got a nice picture. He plays banjo. I thought you told me. I thought he played.
He does banjo and drums and
Wow.
saxophone and trombone and all that.
Well, John, if you can hear it, connecting to audio. But I got a bunch of pictures from John, and I'll have them up. Yeah, John, we can't see you.
Can't
Yeah.
see me. I can hear you now.
Okay, well, I thank you so much for the pictures because I'll have them ready next week because I'm up in California right now. But
Okay.
you sent a lot of pictures, and thank you very much. I'll send them back to you too.
No worries. And now I see my picture up there. Does that mean anything?
Well, it means you're connected, but if you go down to the bottom of the screen,
Yeah.
you might see something that looks like a little camera and it says video on underneath of it. And
Yeah.
there might be a red line through it.
Yes.
If you hit that, if you touch that, the red line will go away and then your camera will work. Oh,
There you
All
go.
right.
Now we see you,
Right.
John.
Welcome, John.
Barry, how are you, Barry?
John, John.
That's great.
John, we live in the same town. I haven't seen you down here.
I know. Yeah, I've been down here about 4 years.
Yeah, and I stopped playing music about, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, I heard about that. I inquired about you. I played a night over at Fritzl's.
Cool.
And several months ago now.
Uh-huh.
Tom Fisher, and I've seen Danny a couple of times.
Right. I was telling Tom just now that you and I and Danny, even though I didn't play with you at the Mustache in New York, but when I was leading the band there in the daytime, you, Danny, and myself would go down to Battery Square Park.
Yep,
Well, you remember that?
I do indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but I used to come in and sit in with you all the time.
That's right. That's right.
I was I'd go play a gig somewhere, and on my way home I'd stop in because I always tell everybody that you were one of the great crowd men. You really got the crowd going down there.
Yeah.
I was trying to learn.
So, John, how long have you been in New Orleans?
Or just here, just about 4 years this time. I came down here originally in '89 and stayed for about 7 or 8 years. Then went back to California.
Hmm.
And when I retired, my wife and I reached retirement age, it was so expensive in New York. We just didn't see the viability of it. And so we came down to New Orleans, and we're loving it.
What part of town do you live in?
In the French Quarter, I'm Governor Nichols in Burgundy.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent, excellent.
Well,
I
it's
think
close to
Barry's
your
out in
job.
Metairie, huh?
Yeah, I'm out in Metairie, Johnny.
All right. Well, it's great to see all you guys. I've been watching the Zoom meetings on YouTube and such, and I've really enjoyed them.
Oh, okay. So you hear some of our cussing and stuff?
Oh yeah, I hear it all. Yeah, I love it. But yeah,
Especially Barry.
I just reached out because like you guys, the Mustache was a great time in my life. I mean, I learned a lot of things there, and it stuck with me. And
So what clubs did you work? What clubs did you work in, and what years?
I only worked in the New York club, and I started working there. Actually, Joel hired me. I went down there, and he wanted to send me to New Orleans, but I was young. I was like 17 or 18. My parents wouldn't let me go. That was no. I had to go to school and blah blah blah. But that would be about 1969 or 70, right when I was getting out of high school.
Right. Well, I remember when I was leading the band in New York, you'd come around there.
Yeah, I lived out in Queens, and most of the work I did in those days was in New Jersey or in Manhattan. And most gigs ended early enough to come by the Mustache and sit in and enjoy myself.
John, do you know Chris Fenimore?
I do.
He's coming on right
He's
now.
coming on now.
Yeah.
Whoop, I got to get my picture on here. So,
There you
Hey,
are.
Chris.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Rick.
Yes.
Chris, you remember John Gill?
of course I do.
Yeah, I figured it out.
Oh, I'm glad to see you on here. Let me
Good to
get
be
my
on.
volume up here. Oops.
Is my volume okay with you? I've
Yeah.
never done this. Yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
very
Your
good.
volume's great.
Okay, good.
So you said you worked the club in New York around 1970.
Yeah, around 1970. Yeah, until around it closed. I moved to California in '77.
Right.
So I forget when the New York club closed. Was it 76 or something?
It was January of '76. I was leading the band.
Right.
I don't know if that's good or bad to say that.
We can blame it on you, Barry.
Yeah.
I was,
Barry,
I
I
was
mean,
the
you
last
also
full-time
closed New
band leader
Orleans,
in New
so.
Orleans, so you can call me the Grim Freaking Reaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to drive a
Yeah.
business out
Yeah.
of business, Guy or Barry?
Johnny,
You know Jim Burton?
I do
Johnny
know
Gill
Jim. I
is
haven't
living
seen him.
breathing-
Hey,
Johnny Gill is I live
Jim
and
Burton,
breathe.
how are you?
yeah.
Been a long time. Jim Burton hasn't changed a bit. I
It's,
recognize him immediately.
Right? It's
funny.
crazy.
yes, it's a sign of a clean living.
Yeah.
Johnny, say hello to Rick Hale. He's on the
Rick?
street right next to
Yeah.
you, and up top is Mike Johnson from the Denver Club.
Mike
Hi, John.
Johnson. Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
We've
I
never
did.
met, but I've been familiar with you and your music for a long time.
Oh, great. That's thank you. Yeah, I only played the New York club. I never played any of the other clubs. I was
It was enough, huh?
well, yeah, I guess I just traveling never occurred to me in those days. I played the Red Garter a couple of times. I kept it secret, but
I did the Red Garter a lot.
did you do it a lot? Yeah, with Michelle Lavignac. Remember Michelle? The
Very
band?
well.
I didn't do it in New York. I did Red Garter.
Oh, you did Red Garter. Okay.
And also in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Oh, in Wildwood, yeah. But the mustache is the thing. I still try and do, I'm working still. I'm working about 5 days a week on the riverboats, and I always try and do a medley of old timers. But the people don't remember those songs anymore.
Can you see this picture? Is this New York?
Wow.
Yes, that's New York.
Probably.
Mark Heater on tuba.
That's New York.
Is that Neil on trombone?
No, that's Heater and Mark Heater.
Mark Heater on tuba.
Two.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Roger.
Yeah.
Where's my picture?
Johnny, you
Yeah.
remember Roger Kinnaman?
I think so.
Okay.
Was he from the New York club?
Roger was the general manager of all the mustaches.
Oh, I never met him.
You say hello to him right now.
Hello, Roger.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Roger.
There he
How you
is.
doing?
I must have met Roger at some point.
Maybe up in New York.
Yeah, because John Murata I started doing Harry Lip gigs with
Right.
Kathy Goodleaf and John Murata
Right.
in the early 70s.
Did you work in Boston too?
No, only New York.
Only New York? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably run into each other somewhere.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I was really much younger than everybody, it seemed to me, except, the
Except
people,
me.
like I felt like a kid there. I wasn't really, but I mean, everyone else seemed so more adult than I felt. And
Well, here's a New York picture that you remember.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
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 One the only.
Hey,
One and
Tom,
only.
did you get those pictures I just sent?
Well, let me look.
Yeah,
You guys talk for a minute and I'll check it out.
Wow.
Roger, how you doing today, bud?
I had some, if it came through, I had some pictures of Nick Club before. I'm doing okay. Sort of partly cloudy out. We use blue skies all the time.
Oh, too
I
bad.
planted some palm trees.
You're breaking my heart.
Yeah.
Too much light.
Oh, it's nice out today, just hanging
Man,
out.
we need Billy back. Tom's taking too long.
Planted 2 palm trees yesterday, that was pretty
I
progressive,
can't help it.
and a couple cactuses.
Did you ever figure out where Denise the camera girl is going to now?
No, I didn't. I just saw that. and
I remember her. I remember her. Yeah.
Well, down in New Orleans, we had good-looking girls taking the pictures of people. Up in New York, you had Irving.
Yeah,
Irving.
we
Y'all
had this
remember
nice girl
Irving?
who worked in the,
Yeah, but Irving had camera girls too.
Yeah, that's true.
He had Gail Manning. Remember Gail Manning?
Gail Manning, I remember her.
And there was another girl, a dark-haired girl who was quite.
Gail was a petite girl, right?
Yes,
Kind of
yeah.
strong, yeah.
We called her Gail Manning of Hollywood.
Right. And you know, Joe Terra gave her that name, Gail Manning of Hollywood.
Hey, Roger,
Yes,
did you see that schedule I tagged you in? That friend of mine in Phoenix, Cheryl Thurston, does a lot of music around Phoenix, and I tagged you on it when I shared it earlier in the week. She's got a great schedule coming up. She does a lot of music. It's very good. It's Dixieland traditional jazz oriented.
no, I'll pick it up. I haven't checked it. Was
Go
he in a-
hear her sometime. She works with some great musicians. Howard Aldrin on guitar and banjo, and a lot of other really great places.
There's a picture of Nick's before it was your father's mustache.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never seen
I
that.
just discovered that today.
How
This
about
was
that? There's
this
the
was
bar.
This was a New Orleans club, Pete?
No, New York.
Oh,
New York.
America.
Wow.
I remember one night I was
Where did
standing
I
by
go?
the front door, and a guy came up, and he's like bewildered, and he's looking at the sign, and he's going, "Wait a minute!" He says, "Isn't this Nick's?" And we said, "Well, it was, but it's not anymore."
That's
He
right.
broke down in tears. He couldn't. He was
Yeah.
just distraught, totally taken aback. We took him inside, get him a drink. He's. he just then wandered off. It was,
He looked at
heartbroken.
Terra and broke down in tears.
That's it.
But look, it looked like a great club. I mean, with everybody around the band. And
Look at the very sophisticated club. Everybody's dressed up and nice looking.
Well, that everybody was like that in those days.
Yeah,
You
good looking
You
jazz
wouldn't-
band up
you-
there.
Wow.
You remember on Bourbon Street, they used to dress up to come to the club. It was mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, back
That's
in the
right.
'60s.
That's right. Right,
I
yeah.
believe the piano player there closest to us is Nick himself, who
Oh,
used
it
to play
is?
piano. I believe so. Eddie Condon on guitar.
Yeah, but they
Yeah, I
had,
see
did they
that.
have two piano
I
players?
don't. Well, he had all those pianos set up because they did, like, people like James P. Johnson and such would come in and play intermission.
Good
And
God, really? James P. himself is play intermission?
I believe so,
Oh,
in
my
the
Lord.
40s. Yeah.
Oh, I believe you. It's just
Yeah.
remarkable.
I think there was another piano on the stage, but I've looked at this picture a number of times, but I can't tell who's the drummer. I can't. I'm not sure. I don't recognize the trumpet guy or the trombone guy over
All I know is that
No.
the hairdressing people must have made a lot of money during those days. Looks like
there.
Wilder went a little crazy.
Oh,
Look at all
absolutely.
the bonnets on the girls, the women's hair there.
It
Bro,
looks like
bring a
Pee-wee,
little
looks
down,
like
will you?
looks like Pee-wee on clarinet.
Yeah. I don't see the clarinet guy. Where is he?
And
It's off
Behind the bass.
corner. I
it's on the
see
right
it.
hand side,
I see the
right
clarinet.
hand
sticking
side
out.
behind the bass.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to. Interesting.
I'm pretty sure Russell wasn't the cook.
No,
And everybody's watching the band except for these guys up in this front thing.
Yeah.
They're
Look
trying
like
to.
Russ Adams was there cooking.
look like some, yeah,
Wow, that is a neat picture.
that is a cool picture, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a beauty, yeah.
yeah,
He has some more too, I believe I sent.
really good for you.
Okay, well, I'll get rid of this one and see what else you sent.
I hope I didn't send the wrong one. Send the dancing ladies on Bourbon Street.
Speaking of Russell,
Oh,
Yeah, that's Russell and Ron Sater,
Oh yeah.
1967 on Bourbon Street.
Oh my.
wow.
Oh my.
Really, two greats. Two of the greats.
They go down in the annals of history.
Aren't they? Yeah, the annals of history. Oh shit.
Wow. What was the cat's name at the New York club?
Ludi.
Rhubarb.
Oh yeah, rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Oh yeah.
Rhubarb, right.
I have a picture of him standing up. I just have to find it. he had a strange body. He could stand up on his hind legs like a
Remember
monkey.
that?
You guys keep talking. I'm getting more. I have to download them as I get to them.
That's good.
Oh, you had to, when I sent them to you, you had to download them again?
Yeah.
Oh, then I got it. I got you. Okay.
So
Interesting old
did you
picture.
send 2 pictures of Nick's that's exactly the same?
I could have.
Okay, then I won't
A
download
lot of
it.
them popped up at once, and just wanted to try to get them to you. But there's one outside, and there's 2 different ones on the inside of the band playing.
Hmm.
So John, you said you watched these YouTube get-togethers?
Yes, I have watched. I
Because
think I've seen
Tom and I were trying to figure out who would sit there and watch this shit. You know?
Oh, there-
somebody just like you. That's what,
That's next postcard there.
yeah.
That's a great.
Isn't
Isn't that a great picture?
Oh, wow.
That bar still there like that?
The sidebar is the same.
Yeah. And out front, I could just, it's amazing.
Yeah, the exterior. Yeah, that's amazing. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
It's a club like that, it's a shame they disappeared with her. So classy. Look at that bar, there's nice, it has some real nice whiskey sitting up there.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Neat bar.
Yeah.
The same bar was at the New York at the Mustache Club, right?
Right, same.
Yeah, same bar.
Wow.
Yeah.
Set up on the wall.
The picture's taken right from the entranceway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Right off to the left, the bar set there.
Interesting. There was booths set up on the outside wall, and in the middle
Uh-huh.
was open tables. Right. Interesting.
Yeah. The bandstand was straight ahead.
Yeah, that's where it was. I mean, for us, it was there too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Good shot.
Great picture. I've never seen that before. Hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, let's see what else Roger sent.
That was a good one.
And John, Johnny, you sent Tom some pictures.
I did, yeah.
Well, next week you can have those loaded up. We'll go through those. You know?
Yeah, there's a couple. I remember Irving used to, if he didn't sell something or didn't come out right, he threw them in a big waste paper basket. The pictures, that people didn't buy. So at night we kind of looked through them, and we'd all the guys like me and Heater and those guys, and I saved that what I sent. Almost all of them were things that I pulled out of Irving's trash can.
How about that?
Wow.
That's a good place to find treasures. Someone else's.
Yeah, you never
can.
know.
Exactly.
That's funny.
They're not the greatest pictures, but they show the band, the stand, and Joe Terra, and
Yeah.
people like Sam Palafian and things like that.
Oh, Sam, good old Sam. Rest his
Yeah.
soul.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Next.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
The marquee and the whole exterior is just the same, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's like a ghost.
Yeah, it's kind of spooky, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah. I
They
was,
tore that whole building down, and they have a grocery store on the bottom and a gym on top.
that building there, they tore it completely down.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Gone.
Yeah, when I was up in New York for a Carnegie, Dottie and I went down there to take a look at it.
Uh-huh.
It's gone. That is gone. What you're looking at.
Yeah.
Yep.
No wonder I couldn't find it. Jesus. I went down that too.
Interesting.
Well,
Next.
They told me that the Riv closed across the street.
yes, it did. Yes, it did. I was there just before it did. It was we did one of the nostalgia trips like you and Dottie did. That was it was a shame to see it go, but
When did it close?
a couple of years ago now.
Couple years
Some of
ago.
it, actually.
Hey, Barry, there's a lady behind you.
When I say recently, I mean somewhere between 20 minutes and 20 years, you know.
Works for me, Jim.
He didn't have to remind us of that.
I heard somebody bought it. Before I moved to New Orleans, I had spent the previous
Jesus.
12 years living right around the corner from the Mustache on Barrow Street.
Sure.
You remember Barrow?
Yeah.
Very well.
So I used to pass by the subway station, it was right by the Mustache. So I'm trying to remember, but I think the last time I passed by before I moved, the building was for lease. There was nothing. There was like a gourmet kitchen appliance place in there for a while. There was that exercise joint upstairs.
Right.
So I don't recall. I think it's completely gone now. The whole thing. And then the Riviera, they shut that down surprisingly. I think it was like a sudden
Really?
thing when it was shut down.
Mm.
And yeah, that place that place had jazz at one time too.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
I saw Willie the Lion Smith in there a couple times.
Did
But
you?
Arthur's Tavern is still rolling.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Danny and I used to live across the street from Arthur's Tavern.
Oh wow.
That's where we lived when we were playing music with you down at Battery Park.
Right. So you must have known Banjo Dan McCall.
Right on the corner there.
Right.
Upstairs.
Oh, yes.
I went on the road when the show band, we did a tour of the Carolinas and all with Banjo.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Is he still alive, John? Or
No, he's gone a long time.
Yeah.
you know, he used to drink pretty much. You know,
He did. Yes, he did. Oh my.
All right.
Now, do you
We
reckon
lived,
there's Banu?
That's right, Banu, yeah.
Jim Cullum at the corner.
Jim Cullum. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
The rest of the guys, I'm not sure. Oh, that's David Holt. Isn't that David Holt, the 5-string banjo player with the hat and tie on?
yeah,
I
he's
think
the
so,
announcer
yeah.
of those Riverwalk. segments.
Riverwalk show. Right.
Yeah.
And that might be a dancer, one of those modern age tap dancing guys there. I don't know who the older man is. Is that William Warner or what was his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, Cullum brought a lot of people on that show.
Yes, he did. It was a very successful show for a while.
Very good, very good.
As long as he had the candy people to sponsor him, he was fine.
Right.
One night he was appearing in New Orleans with his band, and his whole band came into Fritzl's. And we had a 5-piece band in Fritzl's plus his 6-piece band.
Good night.
And let me tell you what, we played till like 3 a.m.
Oh, that's
We
great.
were playing for one another at that point. It was
Really?
packed.
Wow.
Good old jam sessions.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. What year did Nick's close?
Probably 63.
Early 60s somewhere. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know what
early
this is.
60s. Because
63, 64, and I guess the Mustache moved in right after that.
Yeah.
Right after.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Oh,
you go.
Lord. That's outside of Carnegie.
Oh, yeah.
was it
It's
I
Mike
believe that was
Gentry,
about 12 years ago.
Mike Gentry, Peter Babcock, myself, and Dave Weibel.
Yeah.
Good shot.
I like the haircut I got.
dude, you got that slick back real good.
Yeah, man. A 92-year-old mother the other day, she said, Barry, you know, being bald ain't the style anymore. I said, I don't have a choice.
To get some cheap wig, and the next time you go see her, wear it real long,
Yeah,
cheap,
yeah,
goofy wig.
yeah. Johnny, do you know Mike Gentry?
I met him in New York when wasn't he in the New York club for a while?
Yeah.
No, he did the show band.
The show band.
He did the show band for about 5 or 6 months in the
Okay.
fall of '73. He had just come back from Brussels. He led the band
Okay.
in Brussels for a little while and then did the show band for about 6 months, fall of winter of '73. Then he came to
Okay.
New Orleans.
Oh, then he went to New Orleans. Oh, yeah, I believe I think I played with him a couple of times in New York, but I can't remember for sure.
Yeah, Mike was from Denver originally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't come with Harold Johnson.
About the same time, because Harold was from Denver, and
Okay.
they both went to New York right around the same time.
I see. Yeah, that sounds right.
Harold was in the band that when I was the band leader in New York, Harold was in it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Me, Tara, H, and Danny.
right, right. Yeah, when I first started sitting in there, and I had well, I got like a night. They gave me nights like because I wasn't, I could just barely do the gig, but like I got Monday nights. I think I had that for a while, and I worked. But the guy I worked with a lot and taught me a lot was Bob Adams,
Right.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
because he lived down there, and he was so I used to go and sit in a lot with him and did some road work, some hairy lip work with him, where I played banjo and soprano saxophone.
Right. He was my first band leader, Bob Adams.
Yeah, yeah.
Yesterday was his birthday. You know how
Yeah.
people forget to take their names off of Facebook?
Oh yeah.
It was happy birthday, Bob Adams. My
Oh,
wife
wow.
said, somebody don't realize
Yeah,
he's been
no.
dead for about 8 years. You know?
Yeah, I'd seen him a bunch of times.
That's gonna be through the years, all these people are gonna still be on
Thanks,
Facebook,
later.
not gonna be around anymore. Joel and Ron.
Yep.
Uh,
home.
No, well.
Well, that smart ass remark you were gonna make?
Hold on.
You know who's late today is Ira Dector. He usually shows up at 4:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, Billy's having a scan this morning because he's got double vision, so he's not going to be here for a while.
Well, Judy and I were the only ones there, and there's even the phone wasn't ringing.
All right, let me see if I can. Who is?
Finish that up.
That's not Rick's house, is
Yeah, I'm gonna go out in the back.
Yeah.
it? Okay, so I muted that.
Good.
Okay.
Rick, we put you on mute. Yeah. Rick, you're on mute. Rick, you're on mute.
Happy Easter, everybody. Got to run the
Here's
ball.
David.
Hey, David, you're back.
Happy
Have a
Easter.
good one, Rick.
Oh, David.
John, nice to meet you. Y'all
Yeah,
take care.
See you soon.
See you next week.
See you,
All
David.
right, John.
Oh, look, here's your boy.
Here's Ira.
Ira Dector's late today.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since
It's Ira.
Ira, look who's on, your old
Big Ira.
friend. John Gill's on.
he doesn't remember me. Where is he?
Ira's lost.
Oh, Ira.
When people are trying to get on, they always have that look in their
Oh,
face. Look
oh.
at it.
Yeah, Ira.
Oh, there he is.
There he is.
There we go.
Hello, Ira.
Hi, Ira.
Hey guys, how is everybody today?
Ira,
Good.
you remember Johnny Gill? Look at him on. You see
Of
his
course I remember Johnny Gill. How
Ira,
you doing, John?
Ira, how are you?
I didn't see you last week or the last 4 years.
Yeah, but
How's everything, John?
everything's very good.
Where you living?
New Orleans.
New Orleans?
Yeah,
Good. Everybody's from New Orleans.
yeah.
Must
Well, we should have a reunion here.
entirely.
If we have
Still
the
playing?
reunion, if we have the reunion there next year, it'll be easy for John to attend.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we should wait till next year.
yeah.
We should do it next week,
Yeah.
so we know we're all there.
I'm in.
And that's even questionable.
That's for sure. That's
Better
for,
do it,
John, you
Colorado,
still
'cause I can't
playing?
walk across the street
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm still playing about 4 or 5 days a week.
Barry retired.
Yeah.
You heard I retired? No, Barry retired.
Barry did.
Yeah, yeah, he did.
I haven't played in the
I know, I
last
heard.
4 months, and I'm sitting here. I got 8 banjos right within 3 feet of me, and I haven't touched one of them in 3 or 4 months.
Really?
Wow.
But
Well,
they're
you
3
better
feet
practice.
from me. I could reach over here and grab one.
You
Yeah.
gotta practice up for the reunion.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd be great.
You don't get the urge to play at all, huh?
Say what now?
You don't get the urge to play at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
I mean, I was down there, 5 or 6 nights a week for the last 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, right. Need a
So
break.
it was time.
Yeah,
I mean, I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
yeah,
People like Roger and David and Tom would come in and see me, and Chris, because that's fun, as you know. But
yeah.
man, every night a suit, put it on, go down
I
there,
know, I know.
parking spot. I
Yeah.
mean, it got to be a pain in the ass, and
I
just
understand.
said, no, that's it.
You can't see the grandkids growing up when you're playing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
That's right.
John, you playing in the quarter? Is that where you work?
Yeah, mostly I play out on one of the riverboats. I've been doing that
Okay.
for 4 or 5 days a week, but daytime. I'm still
That's
wearing my
cool.
uniform.
That's
But,
good.
I've been doing that, playing the banjo, and I was telling the guys that we always throw in, I frequently throw in a little medley, an old mustache medley, like Caroline in the Morning, Heart of My Heart, a couple of those. But the people don't recognize or know the songs at all anymore,
Really?
How old are they?
which is shocking to me, because you remember how it was in the club when we do something like Side by Side. And
Yeah.
the
Right.
band would just stop playing and the people would all be singing all the words. I
See.
loved that. You don't see that anymore.
You don't. Well, they
It's
know
like our
different
crowd
songs.
in those days were younger people also,
Yeah, exactly.
but they knew all the words.
Knew all the words. I always loved that. And you don't see it too much. Every once in a while, there'll be a table of people who know all the words. And
Let me tell you this: the rest of the guys know this, but Mike Gentry, myself, Danny, and Gene LeBeau, we did some gigs on the riverboats that go out of town.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about? They go up the river, and
Right.
American Queen and those.
Yeah.
And the passengers are all, the youngest are 85. The youngest are 85. The average age is probably 95. And guess
Wow.
what? We found an audience that knows the words.
yeah.
And
We
they
did a
probably love it.
purely mustache show. We did
Yeah.
it a bunch of times, maybe 10, 15 cruises, overnight stuff. And all those people knew the words.
Ah, yeah. When I played a couple of times with Danny over at the Maison Bourbon, which
Right.
you guys
Oh,
know
yeah.
that place. And we're just a trio, trombone and tuba and banjo on drums, quartet. So I was playing banjo and Danny said, here, do something. So I said, well, let's do the Down Yonder, Hello, My Baby medley. And of course, Danny fell right into it. It was like old times almost.
Right. Right.
And people reacted to it. It was, we doubled up the tempo at the end, and it still works. Still works. Needs a little oil, but it still works.
It needs some WD-40.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Hey, John, have you ever done the Evergreen Jazz Festival here in Colorado?
I did it once. When I was with a group called the Yerba Buena Stompers,
Oh, yeah.
and we did it. That's about. It's got to be like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that was in the early days. It's
Yeah.
23 years old, 22
Wow.
years old this year. I thought you had played it at least once, but I couldn't remember for sure.
Yeah, I did it that one time, and we didn't. The band's kind of a big band and expensive to fly everybody in, so we don't do that. Band hasn't worked in a while. It's too price.
Is Bob Schultz part of that?
No,
Okay,
Bob Schultz. No, he pretty much has had his own band for a while.
yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
Hey,
seen.
John, do you know Neil Undersir?
I do. Yes, I haven't seen
Yeah,
him
he
in a
lives in New
while.
Orleans,
Yeah, he was.
He lives.
He was one of the ways I got on the boat was Neil's kind of retired from playing also,
Right.
and just we coordinated with the time where I moved down here, and the band leader, who's also a buddy of mine, Duke Heitker,
Sure.
asked me he said, Neil has to get out of some dates. Would you like to do some dates? And I said, sure. And because I came down here to retire and not play anymore. And now, in fact, I'm playing full time again. But
Yeah, he lives across the lake
yeah,
with his wife, Jean.
yeah, and he was painting. He was, but I think he reached a point where it was getting a little too much for him.
Yeah, plus that drive in and everything.
A bad drive, yeah. Yeah, Neil's great. I mean, a wonderful band leader, great guy. One of the first times I ever played in New Orleans in 1976 or so. It was right after I did that gig for Joe Terra's brother over in the
Oh, Sal.
no, Captain
Tony?
Tony. Captain Tony.
Captain Tony.
Tony, yeah.
Yeah, I went down there and played that with Joe and Danny and Christine. And after it, I went over to New Orleans and stayed with Bob Adams, and I went and sat in, and Neil had a little band. I sat in on banjo with him a bunch of nights. A great guy.
I didn't know
Yeah.
Christine
Guys,
played
Neil
in Captain
Undersare?
Tony's.
What was that?
Christine played in Captain Tony's.
Yeah, the first time. I only did it the one time in '76. And Christine played that. Yeah, so that was a great gig. That was a lot of fun. But then I moved to California. I took a steady job in '77 in California, and I was
I did that job 5 Christmas holidays,
oh great.
5 Decembers. So 5 years in a row I did that.
Wow. Yeah, that was fun. I got
Yeah.
a kick out of that. That's where I met you for the first time, Barry. Didn't you come over to visit Danny there?
That may be. That may be.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time ago. Shit.
Yeah.
It's all a long time
Oh,
ago.
everything's a long time ago.
Yeah, you got that right, Chris.
I love that picture that you had up there of the New York club when I guess that there was a lot of guys come in to play the Ed Sullivan show, and they all got up on the bandstand after the show.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Look
Oh,
at Kim
that's
Burton in that picture.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Look at that. Look at that hair. Woo-wee, dark hair.
Gim had dark hair.
Yeah.
Is that Joe Terra over there on the right?
Well, I think so.
Yes.
Oh, without
Yes.
beard.
Without the
Oh,
beard.
yeah, that is him.
Right above,
Looks like Carl
Without-
Lunsford up there.
yeah,
Carl
he's
Lunsford.
behind Les Muscat, I believe.
Yeah.
You got Alan Doxey in there, Grove Thomas.
Alan
Yeah.
Doxey. Wow.
I think it's Neil next to Joel.
That's
It is.
correct. That's right.
Yeah.
And then on the far right, you got Ron Bizel, and I don't know who's next to Ron.
That's Les Davies.
Les Davies.
That's
Oh,
David.
okay.
Yeah. He was from England.
And of course, you
Right.
got Sonny and I don't know who the other trombone player is.
No,
Is that
Dave
Craig?
Brackett.
Sonny's
Dave
not.
Brackett's up in the back of the.
Sonny's
Oh,
not there.
that's Sonny behind Joe, I guess.
No, that's David Bergeron.
Yeah.
Which
Dave
one's Sonny?
Bergeron, right.
Sonny's not there. It's
Oh, I'm
Craig-
sorry. You're right.
Craig-
That's not
Craig-
Sonny.
Craig, and then there's
Jay Brackett. Yeah.
Jay
Jay
Brackett,
Dave
Brackett,
Brackett's
yeah.
in the back. Yeah.
David Bergeron.
Hey, Brackett.
He was a
Jeez.
horn.
The fact that Bergeron's there tells you it was early because
Yeah.
he was, and that's Don Brayton on the Helicon and on the left behind Doxey.
Oh, Don Brayton, right.
Wonder how the hell he got down there. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Carl is up there. Carl the Lunsford's
Carl
up there,
Lunsford's
as well.
up there, yeah.
and Johnny Martin.
Johnny Martin. Yeah, the lefty.
John only played 2 years. In fact, maybe he didn't even make it that far. And then Ronnie Beisel came in to take over.
But Johnny ended up in a club uptown.
Yeah, the Red Onion.
The Red Onion, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a shot there.
That's a great shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
I don't think that was after. I don't think that shot was
No.
after.
You're right. You're right,
Sullivan.
Jim. That wasn't after because
Oh.
we didn't start doing the Sullivans until 67, 68.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is before that.
But I
Was
can't
Joe
imagine
paying all those musicians?
what the hell was the occasion for. I really doesn't come to mind.
Doesn't, yeah.
And their vests are all clean.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Even the string ties look like they've been ironed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Grove Thomas. I never got to meet him.
No. No. He's going too, and they're all going.
Jesus. You're gonna make me go have a drink.
I mean, look at these clean cut guys in the foreground.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
short hair, clean shaven, no jewelry, no tattoos. My goodness.
Real green,
Real quick.
little devil do you.
That's one.
Okay.
Oh.
Memory lane, boy. Whew.
Yeah, good picture.
That's what I was telling my wife Dottie. I said, well, it's time to go sit in the garage and take an hour down memory lane.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Well, here's a good one of Barry.
Oh,
With a lot of
Danny
hair.
and
Danny was
Talk-
skinny.
Danny Maynard Chatters.
Yeah.
Talk about your hair. Holy smokes.
Oh,
who's holding up the sign?
I don't know who that is.
Banjo player, right?
Think so.
yeah.
Point
It might
Corey?
be Dave Weibel. It might be Tim Shea.
That's not Tim, I don't think. Well, it could be. Hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know who it is. I would say Dave Weibel.
What club is that? What, New Orleans?
Yeah.
Probably.
But it must have been a Mardi Gras because of the costumes or what we're wearing.
Yeah.
Look, I had hair for a change. Look at
Yeah.
Before hair and after hair.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was is that one of the mustaches we sold, or is that your real mustache?
That's my real mustache back
That's the
then.
real one.
He grew it big so he could get mustache rides.
Yeah. I imagine that was 1974.
Wow.
You think it was that late? 74? I thought it was before that.
I think 74. Because Mike, I didn't become the band leader till Mike left, and that was right in 74.
What do you think that is sitting on top of the piano?
Sitting on top of the piano.
I don't see anyone sitting
On
there.
piano.
No, not a person. Oh, is that just the wall I'm looking at? It looks like a boom box on top of the piano to
Oh,
me.
yeah, I see what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Behind the trombone player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just the wall. Oh well.
I don't know.
No.
But you know what, Roger? This might be 73 on one of Mike's nights off. And the reason why I'm saying that, we had the old sound system
Right.
next to Maynard's hip. That's the
Uh-huh.
old sound system. The last year we had a Shure system that you went and bought. And
Right.
that's not a Shure system.
No.
So it might be 73.
Could be. Yeah.
Is the New Orleans mustache? That's the same place that where Jack Teagarden played his last job. Is that the
Right.
Yep.
same location?
It used to be called the Dream Room.
Oh, that was the Dream Room. Okay.
Right.
Jealous, Holly.
Oh,
Yeah, I have some pictures of the inside the Dream Room too.
Hmm.
I have to pull those up sometime.
Huh.
There again, it was just a classy looking place, you know.
yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Ira missed all those pictures of Knicks. One day you have to look at those pictures again, Ira.
Yeah.
Which pictures, Barry?
Before
The
you
ones-
came on, Tom showed a bunch of pictures of Knicks.
Oh, before the mustache.
Yeah.
Hold on, they're coming. I'm not as quick as Billy.
I
Where's
think the
Billy
statue
Bones?
on the sidebar was from Nick's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all the same.
Gimmel, though. Kim, that statue on the sidebar, was that from Nick's?
Well, it doesn't look like it's in this picture. the
No, it's
statue.
not.
No,
It's a big club.
Wow.
A beautiful place. Jesus.
Yeah.
What were those booths around, huh? On the
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Nice.
Well, guys, I gotta take off. We got stuff going on tonight, so I'm gonna say goodbye. Happy Easter.
Good to
Happy
see you, Chris.
Passover.
Bye, Chris.
Chris,
Good to
Happy
see you.
Easter.
Okay, Chris.
All right, Chris, bye-bye.
I
Later,
kind of
Chris.
Take care,
I
Chris. See
kind
you
of
next
need to end it
Thursday.
too because I got to get going.
Bye-bye. So
Hasta luego.
this happens every Thursday at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah,
I'll
Every
say
Thursday.
presentation every
Hopefully
week.
next week you come back, Tom, and Billy will show your shots.
Yeah, I'll come back. I get home in time from the gig, plenty of time, so I'll definitely tune in again.
Great. It's good
Okay.
talking.
nice to meet you, John, across the airwaves and the
Yeah,
internet
great.
and ozone and whatever the hell else is going out there in the
Great
world.
to see all you guys. Great to see you again, Burton. It's been a long
You-
time.
Yes, it is. Last time, I'm trying to figure out when the last time I saw you. I think it was in Sacramento. About
Maybe,
10
yeah.
About 10 years ago.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, you all look great, and I don't have anywhere to go. I'm not signing off. How do you sign off on this thing? You just close it out.
So, as
Yeah,
soon as I
just
hit
on
the
the
Bottom,
end,
bottom
Does it
right,
say
you see
leave?
a little thing that says
I'm
leave.
not good with all this newfangled.
Just
Yeah,
touch,
if you don't
touch
see
the
it,
mouse,
just
touch
double
the
click and
mouse
then it'll
and
pop
click
up.
on leave.
Oh, okay.
okay, yeah, I'll hit the end and it'll go away.
Yeah,